Good morning. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. After a rough day yesterday with flash flooding, one tornado possibly touching down in Richmond County, numerous reports of hail and wind, today could be equally as active, though I don't think the showers and storms will be quite as widespread, but the ones that do develop could be strong to severe. This is a current look at the visible satellite imagery with radar and temperatures. Temperatures right now running in the 60s. We'll turn off the temperatures. You can see we've got kind of a little bit of cloud cover out there, some fog early on that was very dense in locations, but there's some breaks in the clouds developing. And for that reason, and for a couple of reasons, we've got a lot of instability that's going to develop later this afternoon. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has already put this area in yellow under a slight risk for today. So everything you see in this yellow area right in here means there's a slight risk for severe thunderstorms this afternoon. Now, the primary threat from these storms is likely going to be hail and wind, but there's a very, very small opportunity for some isolated tornadoes, especially if we get any boundaries to develop later this afternoon. So there's a small opportunity. We could get a couple isolated tornadoes. The tornado probabilities in 2% range is all this area you see in green right here. So that extends from basically the Charlotte area all the way up into the DC area. So just a very small risk, but still it's out there. The primary threat today is going to be some large hail, which is in that yellow area. That's a 15% probability in the yellow area. So you're talking about 15% right in here. And then the wind threat today as well is 15% in that yellow area this afternoon. So we're going to watch for some instability in these areas to develop as we go into the afternoon. When we look at the dew point temperatures, you can see the dew points. These are 60 and 70 degree dew points that are pooling right here near the coast. These are all moving up in this direction later this afternoon. When you look at the amount of instability out there already, here we are at only about 10 o'clock in the morning. This is that thunderstorm fuel, or cape we call it. Notice it's really building just to the south, especially down in the Midlands of South Carolina, near the coastal plain of North Carolina. But I expect this to advect or transport up to the north as we go into the afternoon. And then we start looking at some upper level energy. Where's our vorticity in the atmosphere? There's a little piece back in here. You can see it back here in Tennessee and parts of Arkansas. It's not much, but it's going to rotate in like this, and by this afternoon will interact with all the heating of the day and help produce showers and thunderstorms. So let's look at some model data. We'll turn off some of this stuff so you can see it a little better. We'll turn off everything except for the model data. The first model you're looking at is what we call the HRW model. It's a high resolution short range model. I'll zoom in close to the Carolinas, and we'll start at 10 a.m. Not much going on. We'll go out to 11, 12, 1. 1 o'clock, you notice the showers and storms beginning to develop up here in the North Carolina mountains. This is the typical area that starts to see showers and storms develop, especially early in the day, as some of that elevation helps heat things up. And then we go into the afternoon hours. We'll go 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Pretty good line forms lee of the mountains and starts moving down through the foothills. By 5, by 6, by 7 o'clock, these storms are right over the Charlotte area. So this could be a late evening threat for the Piedmont and east, but things will get cranking at about, I would say, 1 or 2 in the mountains. Then we go into the evening hours. This is 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and then by midnight, things kind of calm down as we go into the overnight hours. There's a couple things that could help aid these storms today. We'll turn back to current conditions. In the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, there's a little bit of a dip. We could take a look at that, show you the 850 millibars heights. That's a look at the heights there. 700 millibars, you'll see there's a little dip, there's a little trough in the atmosphere, and then 300 millibars will show a little dip back here as well. So all this will help aid in kicking off these showers and storms. There's a little bit of trough, and with plenty of instability out there, it won't take much to get showers and storms to develop. The one thing we're keeping an eye on this morning is how much of this cloud cover you see over us right now breaks. As soon as the sun comes out, like these little pockets in here, east of the mountains over here, down in here, that's going to help. Made a little smiley face. That's going to help things start to crank up this afternoon. So it's just a matter of time. I don't think the coverage will be nearly as wide. Yesterday, pretty much the entire area was hit. Today, it's going to be a line that's going to form late in the day and move down into the Piedmont. So we're talking about a late afternoon and evening threat for the Piedmont, probably around lunchtime to slightly after for the mountains. And then in between those times, probably not a lot going on. So slight risk for severe storms this afternoon. Please be prepared for damaging winds and large hail. There is a what we call non-zero tornado threat, less than 2%, but still not zero. We'll keep an eye on it. I've got you covered online, wxbrad on Twitter, our Facebook page, as well as wcnc.com. Of course, I'll be back on the air starting at 4, 5, and 6. And 11 on News Channel 36. Remember, First Warn Storm Team will warn you first, and we're always looking out for you.